Hi.
Hi!
Hi.
Hi! Auckland, you know our economy is growing. Numbers of residents are increasing, and unless you live in Great Barrier, Papakura, Rodney, Henderson and Massey, or the Waitakere Ranges, your rates are actually increasing. I believe we need fewer public servants in this city, which is why I've taken it upon myself to resign from my current role in council and stand as a strong centre-right candidate. I'm Aidan, and if you live in Waiheke, Rodney or Auckland, I'm putting my hand in to be your mayor, because other candidates aren't displaying enough common sense right-wing mentality. As I've never stood for public office before, you've probably never heard of me, unless
You're one of the hundreds of Aucklanders whose burns my firm is contracted by council to mow on a monthly basis. Or maybe you've heard of the work I did when my firm redesigned and budgeted Auckland Council's revamped IT system, Nucor.
back in 2011, I started an architecture firm with no experience in structural engineering, design, or any of that lefty nonsense whatsoever. My fresh set of eyes helped me to maintain a fiscally responsible firm with a long and proven track record, working on projects such as
The recladding costs of Auckland Council's 135 building. Balcony design for student accommodation in Dunedin.
That sounds fair enough, you might be saying, but what about transport? I've heard what people are saying in other candidates' campaign videos.
It's not particularly reliable, I don't think. Most of the time it's delayed.
But these problems are caused by peasants and their public transport network, not your mum and dad private transport entrepreneurs. It might be a shock to learn, but light rails, trains and buses are things of the past. Everybody knows driverless cars are the way of the future to keep congestion low and the city moving. That's why, as a strong centre-right candidate who is against wasteful spending and government interference in the public sector, I think council should be investing heavily in future-proofing our roads for a technology that hasn't exceeded alpha testing yet. How one prepares for driverless cars is something I've yet to fully consider, but I'm working with Kim.com, the GCSB and NSA to push seamless solutions forward. While you've probably heard about how bad council's debt is getting, did you ever stop to think about the fact that since council's amalgamation, the price of beer has increased substantially as well?
Students who work part-time, it's really expensive.
It's time something was done about the supply.
Coincidence? I think not. And I'll be implementing new financial measures to keep the costs of alcohol down and karaoke open 24/7. Because in Auckland, like the White House, the show never stops. But why else would I be a good mayor? Well, a crack team of reformed public servants, Travis and Nick, are contributing to my campaign.
He's got this vision and drive and a whole group of anonymous campaign donors to make his vision a reality. It's time for real leadership if we really want to make Auckland great again. And that's why I'm backing Team Aidan.
Auckland's government is inside out, and Aidan's the insider, soon to be outsider, that we need. He's not a stand-in candidate, but amongst a bunch of sitting ducks, he's the only goose standing. He's more outstanding than his bank account after a night of karaoke, and has the intensity to bring the upstanding players inside the tent. He's got the wisdom of Sodom and Gomorrah, and he knows when to breathe through his mouth and when to breathe through his nose. Aidan's a guy who knows how the bureaucracy burger is made. Vote for him, and you'll get all the trimmings.
And we are collaborating closely with the New Zealand Herald to understand what issues matter most to Aucklanders. Things like intensification, which I support, but just not in areas where leafy suburbs are, or where people are living. I also support a waterfront stadium, and so should you. Like the Sky City Convention Centre, whose lobby group I headed, a new stadium would generate massive economic gains for Aucklanders. Stadiums have a proven track record of doing this, and I'll be working closely with financial investors from Panama to secure funding for this illustrious project. But I'm not just running for Mayor of Auckland, because Auckland needs a strong, effective government. I've also put my name in the hat for Councillor of Howick and Waitemata and Hamilton, as well as these wards. In addition to this, I'm running for the chair of these local boards, and am petitioning central government to let me accept all of these roles at once. Because if Soviet Russia, Communist China, and current New Zealand governments have taught me anything, it's that strong, effective leadership can be maintained if you have no real opposition. I'm Aidan and I want to be the next Mayor of Auckland.